Hello guys, this week I'm testing the brand new Ford Fiesta, so you know what's coming, another car obsession walk around. So let's pop this on my head and have a look around. Right, here we go, the brand new Ford Fiesta. Now more specifically, this is the titanium model, so it's one of the mid-range models and it starts from £16,145. But if you want the base model Fiesta, that will cost from £12,715. But if you want the range top-end Vignale, which adds more luxury and refinement, that will cost you over £19,000. But like I've said, this is the mid-range model. But what do you get for that? Well, let me talk you through the specification. So for starters, you get privacy glass. Normally you would get 16-inch alloys, but this one has got optional 17-inch wheels. Also get the folding wing mirrors with the puddle light underneath. And you get front fog lamps and a fancier grille than what you would get on the base model style model. Right. And I have to be honest, when I first saw the new Fiesta, I wasn't too sure of its looks. I then drove the new Fiesta a few weeks ago, 1 or 2 months back, and then I still wasn't too sure of the looks. But now that I've seen it in this optional frozen white colour, I don't know why, but it clicked. I'm actually starting to to appreciate the car's looks, and it's starting to grow on me. Like I say, I don't know if it's this white paint work, but it just looks, I don't know, to me it just looks better in white. Now it's not a million miles away from its predecessor in regards to style, so the grille is very familiar to the previous model, and the lights aren't a million miles away. Yes, they're more sleek and more dynamic, plus you get these chrome touches which are really nice. But the most radical change to the car, I suppose, would be the rear, and this was the area I wasn't too keen on. So you'll see that the brake lights are different compared to its predecessor. Now thankfully I've actually got an older Fiesta to my left, so you can see that the rear lights are kind of vertical and fat, whereas on this they're kind of, well, not kind of, they are horizontal. And at first I wasn't too sure, but yeah, definitely growing on me. I'll tell you what I really like. Come down here, you've got the red bit on the logo. Small touch, but I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, enough of the outside. Let's jump inside and show you the inside kit. So step inside the Fiesta and you'll notice that there's a lot less buttons than its predecessor, which is fantastic. Now, in the older Fiestas, you got in the car and you were just greeted by a complete plethora of buttons. Ford has addressed this, thankfully, and in the new model you get an 8-inch touchscreen which has got the latest Ford Sync 3 system, and it's not the best system going, but it's by no means awful either. It's not quite as slick as it could be, and I think the interface is quite plain. It's not ugly, but I just think it's a bit boring. But anyway, I'm glad it's here because it means that I've got less buttons than I would have in the previous Fiesta. So yes, you get the 8-inch touchscreen. It's also available on the Z-Tech model, which is going to be the most popular model, and it's also the one that sits below the titanium, but it sits just below. It sits just above the base model style. The dashboard has got a nice soft touch to it, although if you come further down you do get hard scratching materials, and the same can be said for the door cards as well. But it feels well put together and it feels well made. It also feels durable as well, so I haven't got any major concerns with that. So let me talk you through the inside kit. So you get a leather steering wheel with a leather handbrake, and you also get leather on the gear lever as well. You've probably noticed this is automatic, so if you want an automatic, this will cost you £1,350 extra. This is also a 5-door model as well, so that will cost you an extra £650. So yep, you've got a leather steering wheel. You also get automatic lights and wipers, electric windows all round, cruise control, sat nav and climate control. You also get lane keep assist. Now the lane keep assist is also available on the base model. I think that's quite impressive. But this car does have a few options on it. So let me start with, well, the frozen white paint one. That's £250. You've also got, if I open the door, you've also got the B&OPlay sound system, which gives you 10 speakers and 360 degree sound. That'll cost you £300, I believe. Yep. So Another thing that's optional on this car, but it's not really made clear. It says 16-inch alloy wheel style pack, but that's got 17s on it, so I think that must be a typo. That's £250. Also get a panoramic roof, which is rather nice. So if I press that, oh, there we go. It takes a while to open, but it's worth it. There we are. That's a very nice addition. That's £600. Let's close that up. And there we go. And what I like about it, it gives the inside a nice airy feel. It makes the inside feel bigger. But if you want to close it up, you can do. But there you go, you can do that. But personally, I think, well, you've paid £600 for it. You may as well use it. So that is going to be back open. Thank you very much. There we are. Okay, you also get the driver's and passenger seat height and lumbar support. That's £100. You also get the advanced auto park assistance pack 1, so it gives you front and rear parking sensors. It also has the auto park and rear view camera, so if I pop it into reverse, there you are, you can see it's got rear view camera. That'll cost you £500. Right, let's step into the back and let me show you what space is like there, shall we? Actually, tell you what, let's turn that off. It's also got keyless start, but not keyless entry. Well, that's not the end of the world, is it? Right, okay. Step into the back like so. Now, as always, the driver's seat has been altered for my 6'2" frame, and you can probably see quite quickly, my legroom is very limited, to say the least. My knees are rubbing on the back of the seat, and I don't think I'd want to sit in the back of Fiesta for a long time. Now, in a normal Fiesta, my headroom would be fine, but because of this panoramic roof, you'll see that my scalp is rubbing the roof lining. So that's one thing to bear in mind if you do want to have a panoramic roof. Yes, it looks very nice. Actually, let me do that. Yes, it looks very nice, but it does cut into the rear headroom. So if you're going to be carrying tall passengers in the back of the car on a regular basis, you're likely to get quite a few complaints. But let's have a look at the boot now, shall we? Let's pop this back on my head. Now, if I'm honest, the boot hasn't really changed much since its predecessor. So what you're looking at is 292 litres worth of space, which is not small, but it's not class leading either. But if you do need more space, you can of course fold down the 60/40 rear seats to give you 1093 litres. So like I say, it's not the smallest boot going, but it's not the biggest in class either. It's also a bit of a lip as well, so if you've got a heavy bag of shopping, you've got this lip to get it over, but it's not the end of the world, but something worth bearing in mind. Right, okay, so let's finish by showing you the engine. Don't know why I came around that way, because the bonnet releases this side, it's on the passenger side. There we go. Right, get it open like so. So then guys, what you were looking at is a 1 litre 3-cylinder EcoBoost petrol, which produces 98 brake horsepower with 170 Nm of torque. As you already know, it's mated to an automatic gearbox which has 6 speeds, but you can of course get a 6-speed manual if you prefer, and honestly, that auto isn't bad, but I'd rather have the 6-speed manual personally. But you know, horses for courses, of course. Horses of courses, of course. Oh, too many courses. Anyway. Right, so in regards to CO2, you're looking at 118 grams per kilometre, and fuel economy is 54.3 miles to the gallon on a combined run. But you can of course have a choice of different engines, so you can have a 1.1 litre petrol, or you can have a 1.5 litre diesel, which is for the first time a diesel has been offered on the new Fiesta, and I'm actually going to be testing that next week, so look out for that. But honestly, if I was buying a Fiesta, it would have to be the EcoBoost engine. It's a very good engine indeed. Now, on paper, it doesn't sound very fast. So 0 to 62 is 12.2 seconds, and the top speed is 111. So 12.2 seconds doesn't sound very fast, but believe me, in the real world, it feels very nippy, it's very zippy, and it's a very good engine indeed. So I'm not surprised it's won Engine of the Year 6 times running, because it is a very impressive engine. Anyway, let's pop that back down and wrap things up. So let's have one more walk around the new Fiesta. This is this is of course the car I'm going to be testing for the next week or so, and I am rather looking forward to it. But anyway, that is enough from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more car obsession.